Oh, God. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I have to admit that it's kind of embarrassing to be doing this video, but you know, what the fuck. See, this topic it's not easy to get into, or maybe I'm just squeamish, who knows, what the fuck. But it's actually kind of important. It's actually kind of very important insofar as the whole man-woman thing is concerned, insofar as the sexual relationship that you will have with a woman is concerned. Because anal sex is, frankly, it's women's kryptonite. It is a big deal. It is a lot bigger deal, especially in long-term relationships. And let me explain. Okay, so you have to understand, you know, I'm talking about a normal girl, and not some porn star who's had anal sex, you know, morning, noon, and night for the past 10 years, right? I'm talking about most normal girls, most normal girls who have had a normal sexual experience. For them, anal sex has been a rarity. And it very well might be that the first time you try to have anal sex with her is the first time she's ever had anal sex, okay? It is going to be a big deal because it goes into a woman's nature, and it's really complicated. Let me explain. See, just regular sex, a woman's body is built for regular sex, right? It's the way that human beings reproduce, right? If it weren't pleasant for most women, you know, there wouldn't be any human beings, you know, nobody would have reproduced, right? But anal sex is not necessary for reproduction. And in point of fact, anal sex for women can be extraordinarily painful. Even in the best of circumstances, it can be very painful, okay? So women are kind of like ambivalent about it because on the one hand, they recognize that it's going to be painful. On the other hand, and here is where the thing about women's psychology kicks in. See, a man who fucks a woman anally is dominating her and owning her in a way that she wants to be owned. Okay? I mean, that's the key issue. You ask 9 guys out of 10, assuming that they're not gay, of course, 9 guys out of 10 are like, I don't want to get fucked up the ass. No way! That's what they're going to say, right? Of course, because it's going to be painful. And you know, what the fuck? What's the attraction there, right? But for women, there is an issue where the man fucking them in the ass is dominating them in a way that they crave. They want this to happen. Believe it or not. It's hard for most men to grasp this truism about women, but they crave anal sex. They want it, even though they're very leery of it. And you know, if you just ask them, they're going to say no. Okay, for the most part, they might be curious if you just, like, you know, gently come around to the topic and, you know, create an environment for them to really express what they want, right? And that actually takes a lot of time. If you just, you know, ask them flat out, the knee-jerk reaction, no way. 95% of women will say no way to anal sex. And it's been my experience that maybe a good 80% of women thoroughly crave it. Believe it or not. Okay, this is an example of what women say and what women want. Women say that they do not want anal sex, but they want anal sex badly. There's a whole issue with a woman and her ass, by the way, and let's get into this. You know, if we're going to dive into this very embarrassing issue, for me at least, well, let's just dive in wholeheartedly. You know, no half measures. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so most women. You know, some guys really are like all about tits, right? But you see, most women, they are all about the ass, their own ass, right? They like it when you spank them. They like it a lot. They really crave anal sex, even if they're very afraid of it. But they'll crave it and they'll want it. And believe it or not, once you break in a girl anally, it's going to be one of the first things she offers you on a consistent basis, right? Women physiologically, I mean, this has been my experience. I've been with a lot of women in my time, okay? I don't know, a couple of hundred. And I'm telling you, most women are all about the ass. They like it when a guy slaps their ass and spanks it, sometimes fairly hard. Not enough to actually damage them, okay? Not so hard that, you know, that they can't sit for a week. But they do like spanking. They like it a lot. And they like anal, okay? As I said, it's a whole issue of submission. It's the feeling of being owned by the guy, being physically dominated by the guy. Anal sex delivers that for them, and they crave it and they want it, and you know, they'll offer it to you once they're comfortable with you, okay? Now, how do you get to that level? Okay, see, say you're fucking some girl. You're fucking her on the regular, right? You know, you've been with her, let's just say for the sake of argument that you fucked her, you know, half a dozen times, okay? You know, you've had the nice, you know, like the making love kind of thing, and you've also had the, you know, the down and dirty fucks, right? Now, how do you ease into anal sex? I'll give you the step-by-step here, okay? Embarrassing though it is for me, but maybe it'll do you some good to recognize how it is. First of all, fucking a girl anally is going to hurt her, especially the first time. Okay, so you don't just like do it. Just don't tell her just flip on your belly and you start pounding her ass. No, because that's not going to work. You know, and probably, you know, she could conceivably, you know, accuse you of assault or something like that if you just like spring it on her. No, you got to ease her into it. Okay, now how do you ease her into it? Well, first of all, see, my experience has been that women prefer being fucked from behind. They just like it more. Doggy style or when they're flat on their belly and you're fucking them from behind, they like it more. Like I said before, they like to be spanked. They enjoy it tremendously. They like it when you are holding a woman very firmly. My experience has been if you hold them very firmly by the neck and have them across your lap and spank them, they like it. It turns them on. I mean, every girl I've ever fucked that I've done this to, she's instantly turned on, I mean, like all the way to 11, okay? So this must be a truism across all women. At least it's been in my experience, and my experience is fairly wide-ranging, okay? So anyway, you fucked her a few times, right? Say you have her like riding you, right? She's on top of you, you know, she's fucking you, and you're comfortable, you've been with each other a half dozen times, right? This is what you do. See, you take a condom, right? You put the condom on your middle finger, okay, and you reach behind her and start pushing up against her anus, okay? And at first she's gonna say like, what are you doing? And you just ignore her, okay? And by the way, one of the things that I'm gonna do in some other episode is, you know, never explain yourself to a woman, just do it, okay? You start like basically fingering her ass while she's fucking you, okay? And you do it like gingerly, you know, but firmly, with confidence, not like you would with a dog, okay? How do you pet a dog? Are you like all ginger and tentative, like, ooh, I'm sorry, little doggy, please don't bite my hand? No. You go up to a dog and you pet him. You like pat him on the neck, right, on the head or what have you, and the dog knows what's going on, right? That you're confident and that you're in control. Same thing, exact same thing. You start fingering her with your finger in the condom, and then eventually you slip it in. Right? You slip in just the tip, just to see what it feels like. You tell her that, okay? If she's fucking you, okay, and you slide in your finger into her ass, she's not gonna object. Or she might say that she's objecting, but she's still gonna be riding your cock, okay? Yeah. And so you do that a little bit, you know, and just wriggle it around, not going in deeper, but sort of like wriggling it around. Okay, getting her asshole used to a foreign object in it, okay? And then after that, what you do is that you take your index finger and slide it into that condom, and instead of one finger, you start pushing in two. Now, this whole procession of digitally inserting, you know, how could I, oh man, I'm just fucking embarrassed by this shit. Believe me, I'm really fucking embarrassed. Probably more embarrassed than you are watching this shit, right? But, well, what the fuck? You know, there are some truisms, some pieces of information that are kind of ugly and embarrassing and, you know, kind of like make you get all squeamish, right? But you got to get through them, okay? So I'm going to get through them. So you insert a couple of fingers and you just keep on wriggling, just getting her used to having you inside her ass, okay? First with your fingers, okay? Covered up in a condom because, quite frankly, it's messy down there, right? So you do it with one finger. You wriggle it in a little bit, okay, then 2 fingers. Then possibly 3 if you can fit your fingers into the condom. It doesn't really matter at this point because once she's sort of like used to it, okay, it becomes easier, okay? And just like start like inserting and retracting your finger or fingers to the rhythm of your sexual encounter, okay? If she is fucking you, if she has your dick inside her cunt, okay, and you start fingering her ass, you know, the absolute likelihood is that she will not withdraw. She will just continue. At best, she will like swat your hand away, maybe, okay, maybe. And if she does that, you know, you're like, fine, you know, you just like remove your hand, and then in a few minutes later, you know, you just try it again. Persistence, gentle insistence, that's the term, gentle insistence. Just gently but relentlessly trying to finger her, okay? And if she says no, fine, you try again, she'll say no and swat your hand away, fine, and you try again after a few minutes and she'll be like more accepting, and you know, after a while, you know, she'll be fine with it. She'll be fine with you fingering her ass. And you do that for a while, okay? Now, that while can be 5 minutes or 3 more sexual encounters with her, it depends, but you always want to be pushing towards having anal sex. Okay? Now, why do you want to have anal sex? Well, first of all, it's very pleasant. It's a different experience from having just regular sex. Okay? Because when you're having regular vaginal sex, I mean, she wants it as much as you do. Okay? Always remember that. She wants to get fucked. She wants a cock in her pussy because it feels good to women. That's why they have sex. Again, it goes back to a natural selection. If it were not pleasant, women would not do it. Okay? But anal sex, when you stick your dick up her ass, okay, first of all, you have to be well lubricated, you know, get KY jelly or whatever's necessary, and you have to be very slow and patient, okay, because it could be really disastrous for the woman. It could hurt her a great deal, okay, and so of course you don't want that, okay, but the thing that's going to happen is that she is going to want it to happen, okay. So you have to be very gentle and very slow, but recognize that she is going to desire this, okay? Because there is an element of domination that she wants to feel. Because a guy who fucks a girl up the ass is owning her in a way that the woman will never forget. She'll never get over it, okay? Again, I'm talking about most normal girls. I'm talking about 95% of the population. Of course, there are like these porn stars out there who, like I said before, get fucked up the ass 5, 10, 20 times a day, right? Morning, noon, and night, dick up the ass. Yeah, sure, but that's a gross minority of women, okay? I mean, a vanishingly small minority. Most women never experience anal sex because the guy that they're with doesn't have the gumption to want it, to demand it. Okay? Now, you want to be that guy who's got the gumption to demand it. Now, why? Because you're going to own that woman. You're going to own her in a way that, a kind of ownership that will never be broken. Okay? You will own a piece of her, a very big piece of her, to the end of her days. Okay? Because most women, unless they're just sexually very both voracious and experimental, most women will not of their own volition try anal sex. And most men today, because most men are cucks, most men are weaklings because they've been raised by women and taught to defer to women, well, most men aren't going to have the gumption to go ahead and demand anal sex from a girl, okay? Except like, you know, top of the line Chads or somebody like that, but run-of-the-mill guys, no. You know, because run-of-the-mill guys, like myself, I mean, I'm very run-of-the-mill in this regard, right? Most run-of-the-mill guys don't have the gumption, the chutzpah, call it what you will, to go and demand this of a woman. But if they do, they will be handsomely rewarded because the woman will always know that you own her, okay? And fucking a woman up the ass, she it's this weird thing, and in my own experience, when that Rubicon is crossed, or let me phrase it, when I have crossed that Rubicon with the various women I've been with, they treat me differently and they react to me differently. And it's really weird because in a very powerful way, I own a piece of them that they can never get over. Even when they break up with me, you know, there's still that lingering thing. I can't quite explain it, okay? But it's greater than taking a girl's virginity, okay? I've taken the virginity of a few girls in my time, right? And taking a girl's vaginal virginity, to make a distinction, and anal virginity, different things. It's different, okay? Because vaginal virginity, she's sort of like been prepping for it and looking forward to it. Anal virginity, it's different. And when you fuck a girl consistently up the ass, and when she knows that you own her, to tell you the truth, a piece of her soul gets put into your back pocket for life. Yeah. And they enjoy it. And they enjoy it and they get off on it. And they get off on it not because they're going to have an orgasm per se from anal sex. Not many women actually do, as a matter of fact. But from the fact that you're having an orgasm by fucking them up the ass. It does something to them. You know, I've never pretended to be a psychologist or a doctor or any shit like that, right? I'm just a guy, right? I'm a guy who knows a shit ton of stuff because I've been around longer, right? And I'm telling you, I don't know why this is such a big deal for women, okay? But it is. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it because you fuck a girl up the ass and your relationship with a woman will change permanently, okay? She will always look at you as the man who owns her, and she will act accordingly. Yeah. And so that's all I have to say about this particular topic.